Absolutely. It's my pleasure.
What's the biggest difference between you and Mr. Kopser in your mind?
Well, I think we approach things from a different perspective. Given my career in education and as a minister, my approach is always about what is in the best interest of people who are most in need. You know, when I take phone calls from, somebody who's in her 60s, she's lost her job and has health issues and can't pay her rent, then I want to know, why do we have a system that would leave a person like that out on the street? I think that that's what's different about us, just where we come from, first and foremost.
Your opponent, Joseph Kopser, has said, I'm the only person who can win in November, and that's why we have to take me.
Where's the evidence? Yeah, what evidence is? Actually, I think I'm the better candidate to win in November, because I'm confident that if for any crossover voters that we might get, if we look around the country, those tend to be women. The demographic tends to be similar to my age, and they are looking for an alternative to what their party offers. And even the Austin Chronicle indicated that Mr. Kopser can be a little bit Republican light.
So to the people who say we need to go the moderate route on this one to win in November, you just don't buy it?
No. Did the Tea Party do that? Did the Tea Party go moderate to get quote-unquote crossover or disenfranchised Democrats? Absolutely not. They ran for what exactly they believed in, for the goals that they had. And I think for progressive Democrats, we need to say who we are, what we believe in, and run for what we believe in, and not try to water that down.
Many people don't like the Tea Party, though, because they're non-negotiable on issues.
Right.
Isn't that something that Democrats could fall into?
Well, we could, and that would be easy to do, and I think we saw that very much play out in the Hillary-Bernie split in the party. But one of the things that people have been saying to me, especially in the last 2 to 3 weeks, is that I've not seen another candidate in any race who has been able to bring together the Bernie and Hillary supporters the way you have.
One of your priorities is Medicare for all?
Yes, and as I've studied healthcare, universal healthcare in other countries, I realized, you know what, every country has something that matches their culture, something that they're familiar with. And I started thinking about, well, what is it that we know in our country that matches us and we're familiar with and it works? And Medicare for all. Republicans and Democrats alike partake of it, and it's a popular program.
If Medicare for all became a reality, would I have to do Medicare, or would it be a public option?
Well, that's an interesting question, because when we think about car insurance, for instance, we require car insurance for everyone, at least a minimal level as a protection for everyone. Yeah. And again, going then back to my emergency room experience, what I know is that we didn't turn away anybody, regardless of whether they had health insurance or Medicare, but those costs still had to be paid some way. So there's a reason why there was an individual mandate in the Affordable Care Act, and there's a reason there's a mandate in our car insurance, is because once everybody is part of the system, it actually makes it cheaper overall. And so the answer has to be yes to that if we really want to control cost.
Voters in this district, at least how they voted in the past, really did not like the individual mandate. So how are you going to sell that on a crowd in November?
Right. Well, I think part of the problem is the narrative. You know, those of us who are running for office or elected officials have to be better at explaining why that is a good thing. I understand people coming up, you know, to any one of us saying, well, I don't want to pay for somebody who's being lazy. Well, none of us do, but the reality is we are. And so how do we do that better?
There seems to be a, you know, that you can't,
well, right.
It's not going to happen for free.
Well, of course not, but our insurance isn't for free now. So let's take a look at implementing a Medicare for all. What that would allow businesses to do, especially small businesses, is to eliminate the cost of health care from running their business. What we can do is implement for larger companies in particular that have the means to do it, a health tax, as opposed to you must provide health care for all your employees. And that will actually be cheaper than what it costs them now to provide health care. And then for those of us who have health care and may pay in premiums and that sort of thing to get it, we can also have a small percentage of a tax that goes with that, that would actually be less than our current, in by and large, almost every case, our current a cost to pay for health care through our companies.
There would be a tax, it would just be less than what me and you are paying on premiums right now.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we do have to pay for it. That's true.
And there might be a lot of people who work in the insurance industry who would say that, they go, well, what am I going to do for a job?
Well, we're going to need them to do this, aren't we? I mean, we can't expand Medicare for all and then not have people to work in processing the claims and the paperwork and exactly the same things. And I'm not opposed at all. In fact, I think I have indicated that I'm an advocate for even a supplemental insurance policies like what I saw when I was in college.
One of your priorities is making public colleges tuition-free for working families. What's a working family in your view?
If I remember correctly, in Maryland, $125,000 or less, then it's tuition free. If you make more than that, then you're asked to pay a certain percentage and so on. So I'd be interested and very much a proponent of doing some things like that. If you can afford it, let's help out and have you pay for it. But let's make sure that it actually is available to everyone, so that those who are the most in need have the accessibility to education and to a quality education, because in the course of our country's history, quality education is the pathway out of systemic poverty.
So you're at a polling station and someone comes up to you and they say, I still haven't made up my mind whether I'm voting for you or Kopser. You say you have 30 seconds to convince this voter that to vote for you. You say what? Right.
If you want somebody who understands what it's like for people to be in crisis, to fall through the cracks, to have needs, to have hurts, and to feel like our government has not addressed those, then vote for me, because that's what I do. I address the people who are in, I see people in need and in crisis all the time. It's my job, it's my life, and I will be with you and for you wherever you are.
Well, thanks so much.
Absolutely.